I'm just having a tough time with finances this month. I don't know if anyone else is. Yeah, I feel like this whole month was just, I was a ball of anxiety in terms of money, despite getting a really big lump sum from my bonus. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing another segment of my Money Diaries series. And today we're talking all about my May monthly money reset. So if you're new here and you don't know what the segment is all about, we typically look back on the previous month. So we'll be looking back onto April and also looking ahead into May and setting our budgets for the upcoming month. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Raisa. I talk all things personal finances and sometimes luxury goods and my small business. So if you're into any of that, please make sure you're subscribed down below. Okay, I feel like we need to level set on what happened in April because that was a crazy month. I thought March was crazy. April was on another level on so many different aspects. I feel like I went through so many highs and lows throughout this month, and yeah, let's just talk about it. So if you had watched my previous monthly money reset, I will link it over here if you haven't. I had talked to you guys about getting a really big bonus for this past year from my 9-to-5 job. This is, I would say, I've been getting this bonus for the last couple of years. The bonus got sent, I think, on April 12th. I was having a bit of an anxiety attack just before the bonus got sent out because I had essentially pre-spent my bonus before the actual bonus hit my account, and that's just a little bit nerve-wracking. It's like you don't know what's gonna happen, and everything ended up being okay. I was able to pay off some of my credit cards, but not all of them, and we can kind of get into that. As soon as the bonus hit, everything basically went into my credit cards and some of it in savings. You'll see it in my emergency fund later, but that was kind of like the big thing. I got a big lump sum from my bonus. And then the other piece is still kind of figuring out the finances within my small business. If you have been following along, you know that we moved into this new office space. And although I did kind of put it into my mind that I was going to spend a certain amount for furnishing the place and all of that, I think there's still just like an aspect of figuring things out. So I did go over budget a little bit, but I'm overall very happy with how the place has turned out. I'd say that I'm basically done furnishing the place. I still have to upload my small business owner vlog so you guys can see kind of the current state, but I feel pretty good with where we're at, but that came at a cost of spending a lot to furnish it. This was basically an empty office space, and I got it to a place where I'm very happy with it. So there was a lot of that. I really told myself not to spend anything on shopping, but I did. And yeah, I feel like this whole month was just, I was a ball of anxiety in terms of money, despite getting a really big lump sum from my bonus. So that's kind of how I've been feeling. I do want to touch on what's coming up next before I show you my budget. So in the month of May, we are going to go on a Spain trip for about 2 weeks, and then we'll spend about a week to go see our family in Toronto before heading back to Vancouver. So I tried my best with my May budget, but again, I just don't know what to expect. You'll see that a little bit later of how I've kind of put it all together, but I just feel like I'm not in a place where I feel really good about my finances because I feel like there was just this office space kind of disrupted this whole thing. I'm just trying to manage my emotions at this time, but still be able to have fun while I'm in Spain and while I'm in Toronto. So that's where my mindset is at, and that's kind of what's coming up in May. But without further ado, let's get into my budget tracker. Okay, as usual, I've got my laptop here, so that's why I am looking down. You guys right now are seeing the April tab in my budget tracker, and this is what I typically use to track my income, expenses, bills. I used to track my business expenses here as well, but right now I only track my business fixed bills as well as any investments that I have. I feel like this is such a handy tool to see at a glance how I'm doing throughout the month. I would have this tab open basically every single day, and if there's an expense that I need to input, I would just go into the expense log over here. So as always, let's get into my income. So for my corporate job, without my bonus, my actual take-home pay was $5,698.82. You can see that the second corporate job line actually has a little bit more. I think it's because I got a bit of a bump at year end, and then getting into my bonus, my total bonus that got paid out to me was $17,592.75. I I think that might have been the biggest bonus I've ever received for my corporate job, which is very, very exciting, and I'm so, so grateful. And then the last line item is for YouTube. So I got paid $122.99 from YouTube for a total of $23,414.56. That is a whole lot of money, but as you can see, it was expected. I kind of knew that I would be getting the bonus. I don't typically put anything for YouTube, but for the most part, I was kind of around the ballpark of how much I thought I was going to be making for the month of April. Now, getting into how I kind of split that income up. So for my savings, if you've been a follower of mine, you know I always put down $100 bi-weekly into my emergency fund, which I did this month. And then I decided to put down $7,000 from my bonus into my emergency fund as just a lump sum. I always like to do that with my bonus. I try not to spend it all on random stuff because I just want to keep something for a rainy day. So this year I put down $7,000 and total is $7,200 into my savings account. Before I get into bills and expenses, we can go into investments. So I didn't put anything extra. I thought I might into my investments from my bonus, but I just stuck with my typical $300 bi-weekly for a total of $600 for the entire month of April. Okay, getting into bill payments. So these are my personal bill payments. You can think of these as kind of like your recurring bills. I like to track all my subscriptions in here and basically anything that I pay every single month on a recurring basis, and that amount is typically the same every single month. So my Spotify, my storage unit, maintenance fee, Audible, I've got my mortgage payments, car payments, etc. So you can pause here if you guys want to do a bit of a deeper dive into what some of my bill payments are, but my total was $2,617.02, which is pretty typical for me on a monthly basis. I do split most of my personal fixed bill payments with my partner. And then getting into my business fixed bills, you can see that I pay for email and social media marketing. I'm kind of unsure if I'm gonna keep this going for the entire year. I know I'm gonna keep it going for next month, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it going from June onward. I do believe that there is value in it. It's just the fact that I have so many expenses that something has to give, and I just am in a place of trying to figure out if this is the place where I want to cut or if I want to continue on. It is a big lump sum of $1,620 for those two services. I think the price is fair. I just don't know if I can continue to pay that out of pocket if we continue on for the remainder of the year. The next thing that happened this month is we had a photo shoot. So we got the same agency actually to do a photo shoot in New York for my small business, and we just received the content from it and everything looks so good. So that was $918. Next, I've got a FreshBooks account. This is kind of like QuickBooks. This is my bookkeeping software. My internet for my office space is $56. I have a Google Workspace, which is around $9. I pay for Adobe Creative Cloud, Klaviyo, which is an email marketing platform. Another Google Workspace. This is for my personal website. And then lastly, my phone bill also goes under fixed bills for my business. So that was $62.15. I think that was wrong because it wasn't calculating the email and social media marketing. So my total is actually $2,895.79, which is quite a bit of money. So we'll see where we cut in the near future. Going right into my variable spending for this month. So I would say alcohol, coffee, and dining out, I was pretty good. I didn't really go over in these three categories. My gifts category, I did budget $700 for this category. However, I had gone over slightly. I realized that Mother's Day is also coming up, and I bought my mom some flowers this month to be delivered on Mother's Day. So that was one. And then the other one that I wasn't expecting is I had spent a little bit more on my brother's birthday gift than I originally thought. So I'm over by $268.31 this month. The next thing I want to touch on is personal care and shopping. So personal care is a category that I'm really trying to lessen. I recently stopped getting my nails done, which is something that I had done religiously. So I feel like cutting that out of the budget was great. I think what I spent money on this month for personal care is getting a bit of makeup and skincare restock. I was running out. The biggest category I'm over this month is shopping. I know I mentioned in my previous video that I really don't want to be spending on myself, knowing that there's stuff going on with this office and expenses for the office. And I really wanted to deprioritize shopping, but just with the turn of the season, I don't know, I kind of just got this itch sometime during April that I wanted to get cute new like spring clothes and clothes that I can wear on vacation that's coming up. It's not an excuse, but that's kind of why I spent money for shopping this month, and I'm not proud of it. And I don't know, I am now suffering because my credit cards are so high, and I'm now just trying to pay that off before they're due, because I definitely don't want to get into debt with shopping for clothes. I'm trying to get better, but I just want to be honest with you guys, like that is where my mind goes. And the last thing is travel. We did book our last flight from Toronto to Vancouver, so heading home from our vacation, as well as a train from Madrid to San Sebastian when we're in Spain. So just the last little bits of travel. So my total in terms of expenses is $2,555.84, which is over by almost $1,000 than what I originally budgeted for. It was a very expensive month, and you can now see where kind of my anxiety is stemming from. What you guys aren't seeing in this budget tracker is how much I owed the CRA or the government because of taxes. It's also tax season, so there's that layer that I needed to address. I owed so much in taxes this month, or I should say this year, because of being self-employed and having my own business, and it was a very, very expensive month. I'm really excited to pay off all my credit cards and move on from this month, and hopefully we'll have a better month in May. Okay, we are moving swiftly into the month of May. May is actually my birthday month. My birthday is on the 28th, and I will be in Spain during this time. Typically, I like to gift myself a little fun something for my birthday. This year, I don't know, we will see. I feel like I did already get myself a birthday gift. I got myself the Romar Go bag earlier this year, and I'm kind of counting that as my little fun something that I get myself for my birthday. I might get something from Loewe. I feel like if you're in Spain, you kind of have to. I mean, you definitely don't have to, but we'll see if there's anything left in the budget around that time, and maybe I'll get something, maybe I won't. You will have to wait and see. Last year I got myself a Goyard bag in Paris when I was there for my birthday, so we'll see if I spend anything on myself that is big. This isn't really in May, but it's part of that trip. But we are gonna be in Toronto visiting our family on the way back from Spain. So we'll be in Barcelona to Toronto, and we'll be in Toronto for about a week, and then we'll head back to Vancouver. You'll kind of see that in my budget tracker, but I lessened my grocery budget, my dining out budget, and I just put everything kind of in the vacation budget because I like to track how much I spend on vacation, so that's why I did it that way. But let's get into my budget tracker and talk about it. So as always, nothing has changed here. Corporate job, I like to put around $2,700 under my expected, so that total is going to be $5,400. I don't put anything under YouTube, but I typically get around $100 a month from YouTube if I am consistently posting. For my savings, the same thing, $200 for the month of May. I don't think anything is new in my bill payments, so my total is going to be $2,760.29 as how much I'm expecting to pay. I kind of talked about this a little bit, but I am looking at ways to lessen how much I pay on a monthly basis. So I do have my email and social media marketing already set for May, but I'm thinking maybe in June I'll cut this. So my total for business fixed bills next month is $3,130.97, which is a lot of money for my small business. Yeah, I definitely think I need to start looking more into that. Getting into investments, I'm going to budget $600 into my Wealthsimple TFSA, same as always. And then finally, the fun part of my budget is the variable spending. So I kept $50 for coffee. Dining out is typically $300, but because we'll be in Spain for the latter half of the month, I put this at $150. Gifts, no gifts this month. I don't know anyone who's having a birthday this month that I'm giving a gift to, so that's at $0. Groceries also got cut. I believe this was at $300 and now it's at $200. Personal care, I put this at $100. I don't think I'm gonna be doing anything crazy. I don't know if I'm gonna get my nails done. I wanna say I'm not gonna get my nails done even though I'm going on vacation. So yeah, we'll keep this at $100. Shopping is at $0, but again, as I mentioned, that might change. I might buy myself a little something in Spain. Transportation is $30. This is typically like parking and any sort of like gas that we need for our car. Travel, treat yourself at $0, and everything else is kind of under the vacation bucket. So any sort of Ubers we take will be under vacation. What we eat in Spain will be under vacation. So I kind of lumped everything under the vacation budget, and even any sort of like little knickknacks that we get will be under this budget as well. So my total is $2,555 that I am expecting or budgeting to spend this entire month of May. So yeah, I'm excited for the upcoming month of May. I think I just need to turn the page from April, make sure all of my credit cards are paid off before going on vacation so that I'm able to enjoy myself. Because right now, with my credit card bills being so high, I feel like it's just been really affecting me just in my day-to-day life, and I haven't had this in a really long time because I feel like I've been pretty good with my money because I had so many expenses coming in all at once, and not being able to pay them off immediately has an effect on me. So yeah, my game plan is to put everything, all my income, into paying off those credit cards and not really spending too much on myself, or like really being intentional about what I bring in and what I'm spending on, because I don't have unlimited funds and I'm just having a tough time with finances this month. I don't know if anyone else is. Even just with this economy, it's so tough. Everything has just gotten so much more expensive, and I don't think that's just in Vancouver. I know everywhere else that's being felt. Okay, I feel like I've talked way too much, so I'm going to be wrapping this up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.